The thesis of this presentation will be that doing a PhD in Denmark is, where can I get a PhD in this? And like Denmark is like...
Let's there be one thing that I don't like about Denmark. Now, why you are moving to the US? Hey guys, so Scott is leaving Denmark or has he already left? No, wait, I think he is around here in Denmark. Let me call Scott and want to know why he is leaving Denmark. All right, so Scott. Yeah, Scott, thank you so much for coming all the way back from, where were you? On the plane?
I was actually halfway over the Atlantic Ocean.
All right.
I just faked a medical emergency. They spun the plane around. We landed somewhere in Bermuda.
Thank you so much for doing that much for...
Anything for Kriti Prajapati. She's got the YouTube that's gonna make me a star, and that's why we're here.
And because of your interview, I think I'm gonna be also a star.
I have that effect on people.
Yeah.
I make them stars.
Thank you so much for doing this interview just with some cookies from Lauke Husel.
Well, you didn't have to say where they were from. Keep the mystery a little bit.
It's a good brand.
No, but Lauke Husel's nice.
You are leaving Denmark, okay? And that is somewhere... I'm not totally sad. But okay, first of all, let me tell you guys.
I'll just say that you're happy.
I'm not happy also, but little bit because we know each other from comedy. We know each other like friends. Maybe comedy friends. Comedy.
Well, I thought we were friends.
Thank you so much for doing the interview, Scott. I really appreciate it. But you're going to a very cool place that I would also like to go one day.
Boston, or you mean the United States?
The United States.
Oh, okay, yeah. Wait, really?
I would like to just go and visit. I will not leave Denmark like how you are leaving Denmark and moving to the US. And that's why I'm very curious. Why leaving Denmark and go to the US? But that question will come later.
Do you ever watch tourism videos for your home country?
Sometimes.
And you see, it always looks, you're like, oh, they made that look really nice. You're like, oh, I've been there. Doesn't look that nice.
I see like Indian street food where like a lot of foreigners are enjoying Indian street food. I'm like, I haven't enjoyed that much. Like,
wait, why don't you enjoy it?
I mean, because you know, right? And now after watching those videos, I'm like, okay, I will also go to India and I will make such videos.
I mean, you do learn how to appreciate it, but sometimes it's like, well, anyway, that's how I'm like, I was watching all these United States tourism videos.
Okay.
And they like make it look really nice, but sometimes they'll have these shots. It'll just be like West Virginia, the cultural center of the United States, and then there's just a picture of like a suburb and like a bunch of like regular people walking around eating hot dogs. I'm like, all right, it's exciting. But there's some cool places too.
Okay, so but I hope this decision of yours moving from Denmark to the US is not based on only few videos on YouTube that you saw.
No, that was it, yeah.
That was it?
Yeah, I saw a 1 3-minute tourism highlight clip and I said, you convinced me.
Okay.
Oh, are we allowed to swear? No, okay,
no, because, yeah.
Gotta get that ad money.
Yes, otherwise YouTube will be like, channel is shut. But Scott, okay, you are giving the answer in the beginning, but so tell us a little bit about yourself because you are not from Denmark. So why you came to Denmark?
Rude.
And am I being rude?
No.
Not too rude, no?
If you were Danish, it would be rude.
Yeah, like, I'm just trying to... I'm becoming almost a Dane.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's what we like to see.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from and why you came to Denmark?
So my name is Scott. I'm Canadian. That's the important part.
Yeah.
From a place called Calgary, which maybe some people have heard of, some people have not. It's like, I think the 4th biggest city in Canada. So it's like...
But it's not where most of Indians are there. Because there are a lot of Indians in Canada.
Yeah. Where do they tell you that they go? Or
they
do you have some idea?
They go to the biggest city.
Toronto, yeah.
Toronto, yeah, there are a lot of Indians. It will feel like you are in India.
There's a lot of different people, so.
Okay. All right. So then why you moved to Denmark?
I moved to Denmark because I wanted to do a PhD.
Scott has done PhD. Yeah.
Well, doing a PhD.
You done? No, Scott.
No, I didn't finish yet.
When will it get done?
I could just see that your interest in this video go down. You're like, oh.
I thought you had already done it.
Could we get a real PhD student in here?
Yeah, like that who has done and okay, so you moved to Denmark only for PhD, like that
Yeah.
was how many years ago?
3.5 years ago. Literally, I was looking, like I knew I wanted to do a PhD.
Yeah.
I was looking at different PhDs and I decided at some point, I'm willing to go to a different country. I mean, I knew that right from the start because that's kind of part of the fun of doing
And
research
Denmark,
as you get to go, yeah.
And Denmark was your first choice?
No. The job was my first choice.
Okay.
But Denmark was a happy coincidence because
Everybody says that, like Denmark was not our first choice, but now that I come to Denmark, like doing masters or PhD, Denmark became like the best decision that they took.
Well, I think it's just
Why?
because, yeah, I mean, you just don't know like that much about Denmark. Do you know what my PhD thesis is about?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know, but you're not saying it, which makes me think that
No, I can
don't
say
know.
it.
Yeah, say it.
It's about hearing aids.
Yeah, okay, right. So that was my like field. So it was like, where can I get a PhD in this? And like Denmark is like the place. Like Denmark, US, Germany are like the big, maybe Australia, like big hearing science places. So it was really, I mean, like it was a coincidence I'm in Denmark, but I was looking for like a really nice PhD job in this field, and then like, of course, in Denmark.
And Denmark was also your first country that you've been out from Canada?
Yeah.
Okay.
First time living abroad.
First time living abroad. How was life in Denmark doing PhD?
Yeah, I think like
You need something, Scott?
yeah, here, hold on.
Okay.
I need some assistance.
Scott is leaving again. All right, Scott, tell us how was life in PhD, and you wanted to make sure that being a PhD student, you write a thesis about it.
PhD in Denmark. First thing you have to know, don't write the entire title using half the page because then you have no room for anything else. So that was a huge mistake. All right, let's go through them one by one. Number one, the thesis of this presentation will be that doing a PhD in Denmark is awesome. Compared to a PhD in other countries, which I've never done, so actually I have no idea. But
Yeah, okay.
Rule number one of a PhD, it's all made up. First thing that's awesome about doing a PhD in Denmark, the little thing I like to call cash money in your pockets. You get paid pretty well. Oh no, but the taxes are high. Even after I subtract the taxes they take away from my salary, it's still higher than I think the pre-tax salary would be, at least in Canada, I think.
Oh, okay.
So you don't make as much as you would in a real job, but you make a salary. It's as if you have a job, which you do, which is nice.
Okay.
Number two, RESPECT, respect.
I thought you were always writing rent. How come rent is good?
No, they didn't pay for that. No, that would be
Yeah.
that'd be a reason not to do a PhD in Denmark
Yeah.
if you don't like paying rent. A lot of countries, PhD, you're on like the second bottom rung of society. But actually in Denmark, you're on like the third bottom rung. I don't know.
Okay.
That's actually not a good one. Let's get rid of that.
All right. Second.
Number two, Europe. Europe is cool. And you're close. You can visit other places in Europe. Here's the thing that's true of all jobs in Denmark, as far as I'm aware, is that there's a really good work-life balance. And everybody says that.
Everybody says that, yeah.
Yeah. But when you're doing a PhD, which is like notorious for having a terrible work-life balance, I mean, it's still true.
Yeah.
Probably worse than if you have a real job in a PhD, but they give you some respect. To take holidays. You want to take your holidays. Nobody's going, don't you have a thesis? I mean, it depends, of course.
But is PhD same as doing a full-time job?
That's a good third point. They treat it like it's a job.
Okay.
In Denmark, your contract is very well defined. It's basically a 3-year contract research position where you also learn how to do good research. Most of the projects are pre-funded, which means you sign up for a job to do a specific project that they want you to do, which means already there's an interest in that project. You're not just gonna do a bunch of research for no reason, which I think can happen.
All right. Thank you, Scott. Can we just make sure that it is...
Oh yeah, sorry. Let me get rid of it.
Scott?
Yeah.
All right, so it is now permanent that you can do PhD in Denmark and get good money, not good Respect, yeah, it depends. Europe and job. After having such a fantastic presentation by you about why PhD from Denmark, and I hope it will attract a lot of people to Denmark. You are here in Denmark for like 3.5 years or something. But coming from Canada, as Denmark was your first country, I want to really know, maybe give us 3 culture shock that you experienced in Denmark. That was like, oh my God.
Well, here's my problem, because it was the first country I lived in. And when I came to Denmark, I had no idea what to expect.
Yeah.
So I really a lot of the culture shocks I didn't notice them until actually I went back to visit Canada. Because when I first moved, first of all, I had no idea what to expect. Literally, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to like buy my meat from a medieval butcher. Because I thought like Europe, it's like some mythical place. Stupid, I know, but I really had I'd been to Europe. I don't know what I was thinking, but day-to-day life. But I got here, I was like, oh, like they buy their food at a grocery store? Like, I do that too. Like, I was super excited. So, I mean, it was more similar than I thought. And the other thing was that I was super self-conscious about the fact that I didn't speak Danish. So I was super shy. I would like not make eye contact with strangers, like this kind of thing. But then I found out that that's just like how everybody acts, even if they do speak Danish. So I think that kind of aspect of it was like, I just like could live that way fine. Or like talking to the grocery store cashier, like, I don't know how it is in India, but like in Canada, you go to the grocery store cashier and you like you don't have like a conversation, but you like talk to them like, hey, how are you? Good, like, ooh, lettuce today, interesting.
In India, we have like, outside market, which is like a local farmer market. And there we will talk.
It's a place that if you like didn't speak Hindi or English or whatever, you'd be kind of like, they're talking to me, that kind of thing. So I thought that would be the same here, but like even now I'm like going to the grocery store, they don't even like look at you. The cashiers don't even look at you.
And just in the end say something and you're always saying yeah tak or nai tak for the receipt.
Exactly. I just mix it up sometimes. Ooh, got a receipt this time. I thought they were asking for a bag.
It's always different in different supermarket, and I'm like, just because I know that it's about the receipt, I will say ya tak or nai tak.
Yeah, I mean, vitang is like receipt, but what's bon? Like bon is receipt. But then when I went back to Canada for a visit, which was 2 years later, because I came right at the beginning of Corona, 2.5 years later, I was like, oh yeah, this is how it's different. It was like people talking to you, that kind of thing. Okay, so
when you went back to Canada, like to visit, you realized, this is how it is different in Denmark.
Exactly. Do you find you like run into people in the street a lot?
No.
Really?
Like
you're walking on the sidewalk. You're walking on the sidewalk. Someone's coming the other way, and then you kind of like move over.
Yeah.
Enough that if they also moved over, you'd get by. But they don't move. And then you like have to like swerve onto the street.
Yeah. That happens, and sometimes if you want to really, I don't know, like I should use the word scare Danes, if they are walking and you just walk little close to them behind, they will actually, I've seen that they will stop and they will let you go because they don't want you to be like very close to them.
Wait, how close are you?
I'm like sometimes very like here, I'm here. So it's like,
okay, but where is that?
They will like just stop.
When would that be normal?
I sometimes do that. Like,
so you're like breathing on their neck?
Yeah, they're like, please go.
Are you afraid? Each example you're giving is like increasingly aggressive. Like, oh yeah, sometimes I'll just like sneak into their chimney. Surprise! Oh, Dane's so afraid.
This video is bringing out the bad side of me, and then...
Yeah, it didn't take much effort, I have to be honest.
It just needed Scott. Like I could have got you much before on my channel. I think all people from Canada would subscribe to me now.
Yeah.
After having you.
Subscribe to Kriti.
Kriti, yes. Thank you so much, Scott. But I will not let you go without you tell us why. Now, finally, the question is coming. Why? Because you said that, you really like Denmark. It was a very good decision, like something happened to you. But now, why you are moving to the US and leaving Denmark? Because I think you could have continued here in Denmark. Why? Why?
Sort of. It's a dramatic answer. One that will surely satisfy everyone who clicked on the video. But actually, it's the same reason that I came here, which is that I need a job.
Okay.
And the thing about finding a job is difficult unless you don't care where you live. Then it's super easy. Then you can have any job you want, honestly.
Like here in Denmark?
No, like I mean worldwide. Like I mean,
Okay.
that's not totally true because you need like a visa and stuff. But so I was planning to finish my PhD. Then I wanted to get a research job or a postdoc, something you get after.
Yeah.
And the question was, I mean, what would be interesting of like if I see a job. I mean, I started applying like way before I was finished my PhD. I had like a year. So I had a lot of like when you start applying for a job when you don't need a job, you have a lot of flexibility. You can apply for anything you want. So I was super picky. I was thinking, what would be an interesting job for me? And then one came up on like a list of like hearing aid related jobs, like hearing systems related jobs. And there was like a super interesting one. And it was in Boston. And I thought, it's a cool place to live. I've never been there, not even on a holiday or anything, but it's not like, it seems like an interesting place to live. So I just decided to apply and then I got it and I said, well, it seems like a cool job, so I think I'll take it. I love Denmark, but I wasn't specifically needing to stay.
Was it like the first job that you found in Boston and you were like, okay, you didn't think at all about Denmark, like let me find a job here, or was it like you were not able to find jobs? Was it that part, like was it difficult?
I mean, I think in theory, because there's a lot of hearing related jobs in Denmark, so I mean, not to be like too arrogant or anything, but I like probably could have found one.
You could have found, right? Because you said in the beginning that Denmark is like when it comes to the hearing aids industry, I think it's the best place like for doing PhD.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I could have, but I mean, it's about like I could have gotten a job, but maybe it wouldn't have been the job that I would be the most interested in.
This job that you have got in Boston is like one of the interesting jobs.
It's quite interesting, I think.
Would you be doing postdoc or it's like postdoc?
Yeah, postdoc. So this is like kind of a contract research job.
Yeah.
After you do your PhD, postdoc, so I got a 2-year contract. So I go there. It's not I'm on a research visa, which means I go for 2 years. I do research. It's like a research collaboration.
Yeah.
And then I leave.
Then what would happen?
Get an
like
extension.
You can decide to maybe continue, or maybe now you will go to some other place.
Yeah, or back to Canada, or maybe back to Denmark. I don't know.
Hearing your answer why you're moving to the US, it's like you are just looking for a new experience and a better job.
Yeah.
And maybe you could have got it here in Denmark, but I think you got the job in Boston first, and then you want to just try it out.
Yeah, I think it's cool. Yeah. I mean, it's like I was in Canada. Canada's a nice place. Why not stay there forever? But I got a super interesting PhD in Denmark. I thought, let's go here. I came here. It was great. I loved it. Let's do the same thing. Now I found a job in the US. The other big thing is like, because I kind of was like super curious about living in the US. This was a nice opportunity to,
Like everybody has to live maybe in the US one time, like just go or see how it is.
Yeah, just to experience it. And it's probably not the best time to live there if you like have like a family, right? You want to be when you're young and healthy and you can check out the scene, see what it's like. I think it's like cool. And then, I mean, if you want some more stability, maybe there's like
right now you're not in a settling mode, right? So you want to still enjoy your life and go to other places and just see how the
culture. So I'm leaving Denmark because I want to enjoy my life.
Enjoy your life, yeah.
But no, I mean that,
Okay, so the real reason...
I don't have a really good answer. I thought I had a good answer, but
and I based my entire video on this question, why Scott is leaving Denmark, and the only answer you're giving me is you just want to have...
It's a big old shrug.
Nothing bad about Denmark, right? It's just
I really do like Denmark.
Because I like Denmark because I can see myself living here. It's like we have a lot of freedom. Sometimes I don't like it during the winter time, then I would like to go to India. But now I feel one of the reasons also for us to stay is like India is also very close by. Now we can have a direct flight. Scott, tell us the last thing that you will miss from Denmark.
I'm gonna miss Kriti Prajapati. Subscribe, folks. Like and subscribe. But I mean, the number one thing is friends and the people that I met. And like 3.5 years, I built a life here and I like that life. It's great. It sucks to have to rip it all up and start again. It's always like, that's the number one thing.
Friends.
What am I gonna miss about Denmark specifically? I've really taken for granted how easy it is to get around. I'm blessed that I have a downtownish apartment here. So not only can I bike, it's so easy to bike, as people always say, public transport, super easy. It goes past 1 a.m. Crazy, right? Like when everybody actually needs it.
Yeah.
And I can even just walk places. And especially now in the summer. Ask me again in the winter. There's nothing good about this place.
But when are you, like you're moving just now, like the video will go live and you will not be in Denmark.
My job starts July 1st.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it'll be a slow fade because I'm, traveling some, coming back, and I'm kind of moving things. And,
So you're gonna actually not be here in the summertime.
No, I'm missing July.
I am pretty sure that you're gonna miss Denmark, like biking, and then I hope you'll continue doing stand up there.
Yeah.
And as you said, you like licorice, which I don't like. You will miss licorice a little bit, like.
You don't
not
like
too much.
licorice?
No, I don't. I hate. I have still not developed the taste.
But there's like entry level licorice you can have. That's
Yeah.
like super sweet.
But no, I don't like, and I will not want to like it. But
Well, you don't want to like it. Why not? What?
like, let there be one thing that I don't like about Denmark. That is licorice. That is licorice.
Now you're playing for Siri. She's
Yeah.
playing for the immigration services.
This video.
I love everything about Denmark,
Give me-
especially the
Give me
visa system.
PR. Give me PR, I'm ready. Thank you so much for this interview.
You're welcome.
I think I really wanted to have this interview with you when I got to know that you are doing PhD, and I wanted to ask you about like PhD life, because I know even a lot of people from India want to do PhD here, or they want to know how it is to study. And thank you so much for a good presentation about PhD. And but this was so much fun. Maybe when you are in the US and you are missing Denmark, we can make another video over Zoom.
Take me back.
Why did you leave Denmark, and how is life in Boston? And thank you so much. Bye bye.